90% of the reason why you don't pull the trigger, because you know this intuitively, 90% of startups fail the first year. So I'm not going to be part of that. What is my wife going to say? What is my uncle going to say? What's my father going to say? But a worse statistic is in 2020, 95% of all businesses worldwide put up for sale didn't sell. Why? Because they're trying to get rich off one transaction. You worked in your business 35 years and you want to cash out and retire. Well, you should have thought about that 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 15 years ago. Wealth, generational wealth, is built off a series of transactions, not one. Now, I didn't know Jeff back then, but I do know his first acquisition of Amazon. Does anybody know it? His first acquisition? It was... Be quiet, Alex. Okay, yes. He had 2 employees. No, I think his brother or somebody and another guy. And they were on the floor filling packages, and their knees were on the cement. So one of them said, why don't we buy knee pads? And that's exactly what it was, knee pads. That was the first corporate acquisition for Amazon. And look at him now. The expensive divorce, but there's a pay price to action. I mean, I hope that his new wife, or not a wife yet, but a girlfriend, whatever she is worth all that money. Okay? Being honest may not get you many friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. You're living your lives a lie. The biggest lie is normally with your parents. The first method of estimating the intelligence of a ruler, who are the people around you? Again, you know, they're losers. Machiavelli said that. My idol, and having been in his house and having slept in his daughter's suite, as we did, you know where his wife's suite is in the big castle? You need a long-range bomber with refueling capability to even find it. What does that say? He wanted a son, he had a daughter. That may have been, this is conjecture, no fact. He may never have slept with her again. That's a good story, but I don't know if there's any truth in it. But I do know his wife's suite is way the fuck on the other end of the estate, not the estate, the building. But it was fun, and I was thankful that Sally took me there for my birthday. Henry Ford was an animal. Rockefeller was worse than an animal. And my first office in business was 30 Rock Penthouse, because my first chairman was Bob Anderson, the former Secretary of the Treasury under Eisenhower, and he had cut a deal with the old man. He did a bunch of work for me, so I don't want any money. I want the penthouse for life. And that's what he got, and then I got it because he was my chairman, and so we had the penthouse at 30 Rockefeller Plaza for our first office. And did it make a difference? Oh, you bet your ass it did. If you can't close deals in the penthouse of 30 Rock, there's something wrong with you. Steve Jobs was an animal. Don't confuse me with the facts. And Apple CEO Cook regularly begins sending emails at 4:30 a.m. and previously held Sunday night staff meetings by telephone to prepare for the next week. Cook shared, and to folks, he's an animal. How come you're not animals? Speaking of the animals of animals, Jeff, wrestling big ideas in a bruising workplace. And the people that enforce this workplace are the employees, not the executives. The employees beat the shit, have blanket parties, kick the dog shit out of the lesser employees. Because they want the money. Money talks and bullshit walks. I can tell you guys aren't hanging, chilling with these guys. About 5 years ago, Sally and I were in Italy. We're getting ready to get on the Orient Express from Italy to London, I think it was. And we climbed up this big hill and the Roman lava. And about 45 minutes later, Sally says, I think we're chilling. Because nobody had asked us if we wanted a drink for 45 minutes. Is this what chilling is? I went up there and started screaming, we got a drink. Took another 20 minutes to get the drink, but this is why I got banned from Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg quote in Vanity Fair, May 2019 article, "You can be unethical and still be legal. That's the way I live my life." I put that online. I was off of Facebook, not in seconds, that would be a lie, but in hours. I didn't bring it. Is it a G2 or G3 phone I had? 3. I had a G3 phone for forever. And it stopped working. So we went in the AT&T shop in D.C. yesterday, the day before. And the guy said, he thought, he didn't say he's polite, PC, this should be in the Smithsonian. I mean, this thing. And so, and I knew we were going to have to buy another phone. I mean, they don't let you out of there without another phone. And so, and I said, all I want is the numbers. I don't want any of the other things. I had like 300 messages that I hadn't answered that had come into that phone. But originally I got 3 phones, an Asian toll-free, a US toll-free, and a European toll-free, so the kids could call me. You know how many calls I've had? 0. In 20 years. 0. My kids have to make a fucking appointment to talk to me. And they have to give me an agenda, or not give one of my assistants an agenda. And if I don't like the agenda, I don't talk to them. And our daughter said, "Daddy, I'm the only girl you're ever going to have." I said, "Don't make me sorry for it again, please, honey." An animal. We've grown fucking soft, Elon Musk, after Vance noted that only hundreds of people were working at Tesla's headquarters on a Saturday. But he's the flavor of the day, right? Elon. Brilliant guy. No question about that. Brilliant guy. Why does Jeff and Elon want to go to Mars? Because we're done here. We're fucking toast. That's why. We hit the apex 10, 20 years ago. Stephen Hawking said in 2004, we're over. We're in decline. Because we are. We shot our wad. And yet we produce dipshits like you. My proceeds from PayPal, 180, he put everything, he borrowed money, he had to borrow money to make the rent. Now, I don't see what's so unusual about that, but anyway, that everybody, I like when he was crying because he was working 20 hours a day or 24 hours a day. Who gives a shit, Elon? SpaceX worker reveals a brutal company model helped him survive all-nighters working for Elon Musk. Notorious workaholic, Elon Musk is so tied to his office that he's been known to sleep on the floor. Me too. For his factory, and he can work nearly around the clock. So what? Now, see, that seems unusual to guys like you, but not to me. Not to me, or people like me. And he is an introvert. He's not an alpha male. He's got an alpha male vulgar way of talking, but who am I to judge? My mentality is that of a samurai. I would rather commit seppuku than fail. He would rather kill himself than fail. I fall into that same category. He's tried to back that up. Walk it down. Disassociate himself from it. All night, no friend, nothing, Elon feels lonely to him. Who gives a shit? I certainly don't. Spent his 47th birthday, but we bought a Tesla. Oh, my wife's not there anymore. Good. We bought a Tesla. And it's going to be delivered this year. And I'm going to hit it with, that when they hit it with a hammer, and I'm going to take a bulldozer, and I'm going to crush it on the state. It only costs like 50 grand or something like that. Have some fun. Maybe I'll do it at a seminar. Jack Ma's gone now because he came out against the Chinese government. He disappeared for a few months. But nobody remembers the Jack Ma 996 program. Gestapo Jack. Come to work at 9, leave at 9, 6 days a week. How many of you snowflakes want to do that? Gets out of line, he disappears for a few months. But he came back, and now he's back in line. Bill Gates and Elon Musk share a daily scheduling habit every 5 minutes. This is really, I can't do this. It's too tough for me because it takes me 5 minutes to say hello. But 5 minutes, so 12 meetings in 60 minutes each. If you can't open, explain, and close in 5 minutes, you're fucked. And QLA works not just for making money. This kid came to me, this little shit kid, a university student. I want to be university champion in archery. I looked at him, his forearms were about as big as my 2 fingers. And I said, how many arrows are you firing a day? He says, 25 to 100. You're going to get up to 500 arrows a day, working towards 1,000. And you're going to use a 120-pound bow. He had like a 60-pound bow. And he won 2 years later. But it's better at cutting flab off fat-ass women. This is a professor at Columbia. We chopped the fat off her, has like a chainsaw. Vroom, vroom. She thinks I am God to her. She was willing to make the sacrifice. She had to cut down to 2 boyfriends and a husband. She had 4 boyfriends and a husband. And when your boyfriends like your fat ass, it's tough. I mean, there's a fine line there. You heard in the introduction, I took $820 and turned it into $450 million, which is pocket change now to a lot of the big guys. But there was no internet money there. In 1982, I took the $820, which is about $2,200 now, and turned it in by 1991, a staggering $450 million, which is 55 million% total, or a staggering $855 million. Including the internet money. Nobody has ever grown a company at 55 million%. Not even close. The most recent I saw was 17 million%. And we've got kids, my mentees, my stable, that are going faster than this now. Teenage multimillionaires to the biggest deal on the planet, now worth $2.3 trillion. And teenage 16-year-old PHENOM worked on a transaction to celebrate his 16th birthday of $53 million, and he happens to be in the audience. Alex, stand up. So don't tell me you can't do this shit. We all know what you were doing at 15 and 16, jacking off on your fucking computer. $53 million. TV media, right? Yeah. Okay. So don't tell me. And he's not the only teenager. He was 17, multimillionaire. He's now retired on some fucking Greek island. Came to seminar 3 times. That's actually when he was older. He wasn't 17 then. And we have 13 and 14-year-olds. They're now older now. 13 on the guy on the left, 14 on the guy on the right. Hundreds of millions in their teens. They're retired as well. Is the one on the left cocky? You fucking A, he is. I mean, he thinks literally his poop doesn't smell. But when they get in trouble, who do they call? Me. Another one. Several hundred million. He was a little old, he was 19. And we know you weren't doing shit at 19. A couple of you were in jail. And then Josh, 17. So don't tell me it can't be done. And these are the only ones I show because the other kids don't want the publicity. Now, how does 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids create hundreds of millions of dollars with great sacrifice to the exclusion of almost everything else in their lives? But they've got less baggage. Still got baggage. Having met your parents, now I know where some of your baggage is. Now, this is Josh is buying this island right here, and that's his house he's building. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's beyond phenomenal. I am God. And I'm not bullshitting about it. And maybe I am on a rocket ship to fucking heaven. I said, Jesus, Josh. He says, well, I'm not worried about it. And he's going to buy the other side of the island, and he wants a 500,000 square foot. Oh, God. And he says, having sex in a jet, Mr. Peña, is a lot of fun, just like you said it would be. You needed me to tell you that?